Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the ending matches here for week number 3 in DMV Summer 2026. My name is Shiv. I'm joined by Hop Tech to get you into this match in the upper side of the Swiss bracket.
Upper side indeed. 2-0 teams facing off tonight. I would say these are some of the tournament favorites. We saw in the power rankings also some rumors going around that these two teams are very, very good. Very, very good.
Absolutely. We are into draft between the Bumbo Aura Farmers and Dr. Patience Home for the Mentally Challenger. We're already through that first initial phase of bans. A lot of stuff levied towards the mid lane with Zero Domain and Pack. You're going to be pinched there, but it's still going to be a first pick Seraphine for the Aura Farmers.
Yes, it will be indeed. And let's just talk about these two teams really quick. I mean, I said they were, some of the stronger teams in this tournament. But yeah, who are the power players we're looking at across these two teams?
That's a question for me. You're the player. You're the color. You got to bring the analysis. What am
I
I
feel like
supposed
it's
to
gonna
do?
be like more of a back and forth. You've seen some
Unbelievable.
of these teams play already, but yeah, I mean, from a player perspective, I think I think we're looking at the bot lane on the side of the Doctor Patience. Their name is too long. I'm just gonna say Home, Doctor Patience Home. But yeah, their bot lane is definitely some of the one of the stronger bot lanes in DMV. Their ADC just recently hit Grandmaster. Congratulations to Soy Blake. And Troy himself has hit Challenger before in the past. So definitely looking to see if they can pick something that kind of just gets priority in lane, kind of just stomps lane, and can translate that to the mid and late game. On the other side, I think we're really looking at Zero Domain. The highest peaked player in DMV. I believe he peaked 2K this season. Challenger, of course. So definitely want to get him on some sort of comfort, but also something that gets counter pick so that he can really run the game from the laning perspective. But yeah, very excited to see those juggernauts kind of go at it.
Yeah, and I think that's a big reason for those first 3 bans from the side of Dr. Patience Home, taking away those control mages that Zero Domain has been fantastic on. It is going to be a Talon and a Silas, it looks like, perhaps teaming up in the mid jungle for the Aura Farmers. Talon, a pick we've seen a smattering of throughout DMV from a lot of these junglers that are just willing to play that aggressive, we'll call it a selfish style of jungler like the Talon. A Silas off the bat, when you don't see too much on the enemy team, is maybe a bit concerning, but I think, like you said, Dr. Patience Home, not too concerned. Just going to slam down their bot lane here with the Rel and the Varus.
Yep, and I think that's just something that they're really comfortable on. They like that Varus a lot. I think they've been playing it quite a bit in solo queue and also in competitive play here in DMV. But yeah, it is a very interesting pick to just lock in the Silas Talon 1-2, especially since we don't really see a lot of priority or like good ultis that the Silas maybe wants to take away. So probably just looking to kind of make mid very volatile. Silas, got a little bit of a buff with that Q max. So probably just looking to, take over the lane, just make the lane super volatile, looking to maybe find some skirmish timers with the Talon. And play off that. So yeah, we'll have to see. And I'm pretty sure the Salas is going to mid. Yeah, they picked the Talon, so that's going jungle. But
Yeah, we do have that no ban on the side of Dr. Patience Home is going to be a Gwen. So both sides hammering down on the top lane, trying to clear away for Night's Dawn and for Dr. Patient to get some good picks. Are you thinking that they're probably going to take a power pick top? Do you have something in mind that they would maybe want to pick against the Silas and leave that top pick for last?
yeah, I mean, their captain Nightstone, I think someone who likes to play quite a bit of champions. I think they will probably just give Dr. Patient the Orn here and leave mid counter pick for last. Judging from they probably want to keep him safe. I think they want to keep the mid laner safe for sure. And since Dr. Patient play so many, blind to book tanks, I think it would be pretty smart for them to just, give them the tank on 4 and then hopefully leave Pacquiao to, get his best pick on 5.
No, we do see the Casio ban, which I think you maybe could consider as a very good pick for Pacquiao to take here on 4, even if you're worried about a Casio Seraphine combo in the bot lane or something along those lines. Could have been a strong mid, but yeah, I think they will probably
Yeah,
be
I mean, it
comfortable.
could just from that. I mean, I feel like they're maybe considering that the Silas can actually go top lane with that Casio ban because I feel like not many people are playing Casio besides Zero Domain. And so, yeah, we're gonna see that Mundo. So very, very smart drafting here by Dr. Patience Home to just give their top laner that early blind of a top laner and just make sure Pacquiao is comfortable in the mid lane role, making sure they can see all the flexes available for the side of Bumbo. If they're banning that Cassia, clearly they're afraid of something that can go somewhere they're not expecting. So I think this is really smart. And so we can see that Mbessa
Yeah, Night's
firmly
Dawn
locked in.
has been playing just a ton of bruisers. You think that maybe if it's blind pick, you're favoring something like the Renekton, but even through all the nerfs, is gonna go with the Mbessa here, just trying to dive in on that back line. With the other melees in the composition, I do feel a bit light on CC now, very reliant on the Seraphine. I mean, I don't expect the AD carry to really provide too much, though the Ashe is still available.
Yeah, and I think this is a situation where I would like, some a little bit more disengaged. Obviously, mid laner is not traditionally their strong suit. As Bumbo's going to lock in that Seraphine Nautilus bot lane, so they're kind of just wanting to dive in and have the Seraphine just ult forward to like follow up on their damage. But this is like a kind of situation where I'd like to see something like a Galio, maybe even a Syndra, to kind of buy space for their team. Even a Nivea wouldn't even be bad here. Kind of play the chokes as Talon, Silas, and Bessa want to dive right into the Varus. But yeah, well, maybe not in Pacquiao's pool. We could see
Yeah, a
something
lot of
else.
mid laners already
Azir.
taken down, but it's going to be Azir. I don't believe anyone has played Azir except for you so far this tournament. The champion has definitely fallen out of favor in the mid lane. But hey, when we've got Zed, Yasuo, Akali, Victor, Ryze, Oriana, Cassio bans, like not much left on the table for Pacquiao.
Yeah, I think a lot of champions are just very strong in the meta right now, where it makes it so that Azir can be a little bit hard to get out of the early game without falling too far behind. And obviously Silas, it's a favorite Silas matchup early for sure. So Zero Domain is definitely going to be looking to capitalize on his strengths early as Azir looks to scale. But we'll see if Pacquiao, he's picking this champion on 5. He's obviously going to be comfortable on it. We'll see if he can, scale out the early game and make sure that he can provide for his team later. I think this is still a good disengage mid laner. Obviously has that ulti, needs to stand on the Varus to make sure that he can keep everyone safe. Probably doesn't want to shuffle in too much considering, the amount of dive threat that Bumbo has on their team.
Yeah, definitely gonna need those defensive tools there with the Azir, with the even the Shinzo ult being used defensively to try to disrupt the dive. So even though you have something like Aurel that can really dive in there, feels like Dr. Patient is going to be leaning the team more on the defensive side. But meanwhile, in the Aura Farmers, going to just look to dive in. A lot of champions that have a lot of, that agency, right? To just take the game upon themselves, find the Varus, find the Azir, and take them down. So now that we are seeing all 5, we know it's a Seraphine bot for Quasti as the AP mage carry. Which comp are you liking more here for game number 1?
Um, you know, I feel like the Bumbo comp is really like kind of a hands check kind of comp. They're trying to get the solo lanes carries on champs that just kind of out mechanic the enemy team. Whereas obviously Dr. Patient is playing through bot lane. They want to draft a team comp around bot lane, keep their Varus safe. Obviously, they want Soy Blake to flourish this game. And I think they pick champs that do really well for him in specific. So I think the name of the game for Bumbo is kill Varus, and the name of the game for Dr. Patient is to keep the Varus safe. So whoever can do that the best is gonna win this game. The Varus is the prime target. He has to shine this game. He's just all eyes on the Varus, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't have tools in his own kit to really get away like something like an Ezreal could. So it's going to be up to his team to make sure that that Varus stays ready and firing. We're going to take a quick little break before we get into game number 1. All right, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Some Vanguard issues were thrust upon us, but we're in for game number 1 between the Bumbo Aura Farmers and Dr. Patience Home. Two teams still undefeated through the Swiss stage, looking to now go 3-0 with another win today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very excited for this series, honestly. I think it's going to be a 3-game series. I think these teams are very evenly matched. Um, and we'll see just how strong these powerhouses can get. Like I said, this Varus is the name of the game in this game for both teams. Both teams kind of just want to, as we see a trade in the mid lane already. Zero Domain opting for that electrocute actually to make sure that he can make the lane a little bit more volatile. So yeah, Pacquiao definitely has to be a little bit afraid. I didn't see that bone plating on him as he's gonna get engaged on again.
Yeah, Zero
Take a
already
lot
finding
of
two
damage.
nice abducts throughout the course of this lane, making use of the electrocute. Also opting for the ignite. So all these trades can definitely stack up for an all-in.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, Pacquiao didn't opt to go for the. I mean, if he did go for the resolve tree, didn't opt for to go for that bone plating that a lot of people actually like going now in Azir, considering how many HPs can another
Oh, the
abduct
abductor
gonna
hits
land.
the
He's just
ignite. He's
all
taking
in.
up the tower. And the last tick of the flames gives first blood to Zero Domain.
Yeah, not what you want to see, especially your mid laner getting the 5th pick, uh, dying at level 1 like that. But yeah, like I was saying, didn't opt for that bone plating early in the game, which definitely would have saved him from, getting hit by those E's. Obviously, probably, could have tried not, like maybe stepping back when the E timer was up, letting the wave push into him as Zero Domain was looking for those E's. But yeah, not a good look. Not a good look.
And
Obviously, very good look for Zero Domain.
yeah, and we know how good Zero Domain has been thus far throughout DMV summer. He has been phenomenal on a whole host of champions in the mid lane. And Dr. Patience Home tried to just kind of triple quadra ban him and see what if they can keep him down. Not the case early on, able to capitalize with the solo kill.
Yep, and I mean, obviously, Quasti and FaZe kind of looking for that, more stable bot lane to kind of neutralize Soy Blake and Choi, being very strong players of their own right. And Nightstun,
Yeah, he's actually getting
gonna
a good trade-off, has his own ignite, and flashing forward, he'll let the ignite do the work, but the pots for Dr. Patient keep him alive. Meanwhile, some
that is insane.
scruffling in the bot lane as now Pacquiao low again. The Petricide procs are really doing him in, and he's got to shuffle out of there. Nightstone may be a bit of a miscalculation, but now Bumbo has an easy equation in the mid lane, but doesn't hit the W. Can't get the rake back with the flip. And Pacquiao didn't flash in the first solo kill, able to put it to some use there.
Lot of action here in these first 3 minutes. As Zero Domain gonna look for a dive. Tomboy Toucher is here to cover. And Zero Domain gonna be dissuaded, gonna get engaged on by Tomboy Toucher. Zero Domain
Did he
gonna
give
do
you
so much
$5? I
damage.
thought we weren't doing this. I thought we weren't doing this. I thought we
Yeah, you're
were just
right. You're
gonna
right.
ignore it
But
and not talk about the
what's a bit
substitution
of,
and pretend it's not there.
it's kind of an instinct. But yeah, maybe the DMV pool has been generous. The donations have been generous. Thank you,
Unbelievable.
everyone.
I thought
But
we had standards. Either way, Dr. Patient
someone,
getting low again in the top lane. Night's Dawn. Even though he maybe chose to look away from the explosion a bit too soon, is going to have a good time early on in this lane. Mundo, not particularly strong until he gets up there and levels up there in items. And so Night's Dawn pretty comfortable thus far in this lane.
yeah, I find it pretty insane that Dr. Patient was able to walk away from that with his life. Nightstone kind of all in him there. And that was like the kind of timers that you really want to kill Mundo or like kind of get a lead on Mundo because once he hits 6, it can be very, very hard to kill him and lock him down. Nightstone obviously not playing a champ with CC, but Mbessa does a lot of percentage HP damage and is known for her tank shredding capabilities.
Yeah,
But regardless, yeah.
and now that Wave's going to be pushing away from Dr. Patient, his jungler is finishing up his clear on the bot side, so he knows he's in a very vulnerable position. Does have the dosage, perhaps, to try to soak up this dive. Bumbo goes a bit early, tank star shot. There's only 3 minions here, and Nightstone doesn't have a ton of HP, so don't think
Yeah,
that's
I
going to be
love
the
how
best
Dr. Patient played
advantage.
that. I really love how Dr. Patient played that. Pacquiao not level
Oh,
6, gonna get all in by Zero Domain.
yeah, Choi is
Choice
trying to get here, but the
Ooh.
sidestep on the real Emperor's Divide. Zero Domain will slay that Emperor, and now he's got help from his jungler to clean up Choi. It is a mid lane kingdom for the side of the Aura Farmers. And now Dr. Patient trying to
Yeah.
use the ulti to fight back against Nightstone, get some great health back with the defibrillator. He'll stay alive. Nightstone almost has the ignite. This Patient is going to hope for his HP to come back up a bit more.
Again, Dr. Patient living with his life. So I'm gonna get engaged on as well. Tomboy is here to cover, but yeah, I mean, Zero Domain has just been an absolute freaking monster. I mean, you can see just how comfortable he feels just playing
Oh, Bumbo
to
is
his
back
limit.
in
And
the top
Bumbo,
lane, has the Shadow Assault, and is able to lock down the Mundo finally. Meanwhile, FaZe, a bit aggressive here, does have the Dredge line out. Soy Blake and Choi may look to chase this one in. There's the pickup by the Rel, the arrow with the stun, and FaZe is down. He didn't have the flash from some earlier shenanigans, and he's going to pay for it there.
yeah, oh, that Q damage maxed on the Silas. Gonna take a huge chunk out of Pacquiao. But yeah, I mean, that's one for the side of Dr. Patient's home. They're gonna get one on the board to the champion that actually needs it the most. Definitely does need to do some heavy lifting this game. Is Pacquiao
Oh,
gonna
Zero
get engaged
Domain
on
finds
again?
another burst with that electrocute. Yeah, this Azir can see the vision with trying to hold off this Silas with a good range champion, have the disengage with the ult later, but it is coming up all Zero Domain thus far.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell that like Pacquiao has probably never played someone who plays as aggressive as Zero Domain does on the Silas. I mean, he is every timer he has an E, he is going for it. And Pacquiao is not hiding in his wave. He has his wave pushing out right now, which is a nightmare. And his support or jungler is not really in a position to help him. So he's just gonna have to try and soak up XP where he can and try to play his range. Maybe to try and dodge and abscond is
Nightstone
gonna be
dodging
some
away
more
from the
trading in the top
briefcase.
lane.
Has a good trade here. Not going to throw down an ult or an ignite. This time just going for the chunk. And again, I mean, Bumbo's going to be pathing up towards that top lane. Choi and T are around the mid to, like you said, make sure that Pacquiao is not vulnerable as he tries to get that wave out.
Yeah, they really need to help him push this because even though Zero Domain, not the greatest HP conditions, probably is dissuaded a little bit from trying to engage onto Pacquiao at this time because he doesn't have that ult to steal, and Pacquiao does. He can't shuffle him back into his team, considering that Zero Domain has no vision there. So probably just gonna look to keep the wave on his side, just make Pacquiao a little bit uncomfortable given the HP conditions that he has.
Yeah, but all that time, the Xin Zhao is spending around the mid lane to try to keep Pacquiao in a safe spot. Means that Talon has completed another full clear. He's up a good bit of farm. He's already on the Void Grubs. It was an early Dragon take by the Xin Zhao, though, so was able to get an objective on the board. Yeah, Grub's going to be finished up in topside by Bumbo. And actually a good trade from Nightstone. Has the Ignite, forcing the ultimate out of Patient, but that's not going to be enough HP to survive through the Ambessa damage. Nightstone now with 2 kills to his name.
Yeah, and I really do like how much Bumbo is playing topside this game, knowing that he has Quasti and like obviously a Seraphine and a Nautilus kind of just being stable into the Varus rel lane. Not necessarily what you think of as a super aggressive lane, so they can probably just farm it out as Seraphine. So like obviously going for that on-hit build as well, not for the lethality build to poke. Bumbo is here to cover something here, but probably not much going to happen. Zero Domain actually coming down as they get engaged on by FaZe.
Isn't quite going to find Smart Soyblake able to flash away, but here comes the Talon. Depth charge on top of the Varus's head. Silas is here to cut off the escape. Soyblake's going to go down to the Talon strike, and it is Zero Domain cleaning up the rel for a nice play bot side.
Yeah, no vision down on the bot side. I mean, I think Choi had to invest a little bit of vision to make sure that Pacquiao could actually, farm a little bit more safely considering his wave state. But that just left them with no vision down on the bot side as Choi didn't have his quest completed quite yet. Bumbo just going straight from top side to bot side to play on that that timer. It's looking rough.
Yeah, Dr. Patient gonna try to proxy out a wave here. He doesn't have his ult. Gonna pop with the ghost, but he's just gonna die for it. So all the solo lane stuff going clearly to the Aura farmers. Xin Zhao and Rel are around the mid lane once again, trying to make sure that their Azir is safe and possibly setting up for a dragon. But they're not in the best of spots to fight over any objectives.
Yeah, I mean 3.4k gold lead at 10 minutes. Definitely not you know, the greatest disadvantages. Yeah, Zero Domain at this point is just looking for any engage he can. Probably doesn't care if Pacquiao even shuffles him in. He probably has the buffer down as well. So on Silas, there's an interaction that if you get shuffled, you can hold your Abscon to cancel the knockback and stick onto the Azir. We haven't seen it yet since there hasn't really been an interaction where Pacquiao has needed to shuffle Zero Domain back into his tower, but that would be really, really tragic.
We did see an attempted dragon start by the side of the Dr. Patience home, but quickly realized, like, hey, that Silas has got a proto belt. That Talon's got his first item, the Umbral Glaive, and Arveris doesn't have flash. It cannot be a good fight. They quickly go off of it. Even though they have all this bot lane pressure, they are maybe going to have an angle with the recall from Zero Domain, but no, Xin Zhao just going to retreat back to his wolves.
Yeah, and I feel for Tomboy because he hasn't really been able to get involved considering, you know, I mean, he probably is hovering bot side as much as he can, but his top side is losing, his mid is losing. It just seems really hard to try and make an impact on this lane.
Oh, another ignite, and Nightstone rips through the health bar of the Mundo again, and that's going to be a full tower to this Mbess. So we talk so much about Zero Domain getting active early, but Nightstone is the one consistently just taking these good trades, getting all these chunks out of the Mundo, and now he's got an entire tower here at 12 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, a 12-minute tower, that is rough. That is rough. That Mbessa is going to be so freaking strong, and I don't think they have enough tools to, you know, kill the Mbessa before she can kill any of their carries. I feel like if she lands her ult, that's just one person dead, like, automatically. And then obviously the rest of them are going to follow up, but they really need to get Soy Blake active in on some of these fights here. They need to get proactive and try to get a lead somewhere. And that probably needs to be bot lane.
Yeah, Choi is going to look for it. The anchor doesn't get the wall. So FaZe is going to try to fight out of this. Yonkor is lined up onto 2. Now Magnet Storm Quasti should be okay. Soy Blake took a lot of damage from the beat drop. And now Bumbo is around the corner. They attempt a play, but just like all the others, it's going to backfire. Bumbo is not quite going to find the W rake. So even still, a winning play bot side for the Aura farmers.
Yep, and even though they're trying to get proactive on these plays, it seems like Bumbo is just always first with the tempo that he has on the Talon. Can just flip over those walls. Pacquiao going to ulti away and try to get away from this.
Oh, and he's able to get away from the Duck, but still taking a lot of damage on the retreat. And Mbessa is lurking around as well. Now has some rain to go about the map.
Yeah, Zero Domain is just, you know, so much pressure here in the mid lane. 3 plates down. It is a range versus melee matchup as well. So it's just, it's rough. It's rough. This is something that they opted into as well. I mean, Dr. Patient had to pick that 4th pick into that Mbessa counter pick. Just so Pacquiao could be a little bit more safer, but it is really, they're really feeling the effects of that right now.
Yeah, feels like maybe when you have the defensive tools of, you know, an Azir ult, of a Xin Zhao ult against these melees, okay, we can deal with the dive. But once these divers, both of them, are this fed, as Zero Domain went for a flash play onto Soy Blake, didn't quite find it with that stolen Emperor's Divide.
Yeah, no Chain of Corruption there available for Soy Blake. I believe it's just coming up right now, so Zero Domain could have died there if they calculated a little bit off. He should know that they're in the bush, but there's the beach.
Just try again. As Soy Blake's going to try to get the damage down, but doesn't quite have enough. The Kingslayer healing keeps the king alive. As Choi is going to try to pick up the kill. It's a shutdown, but it goes to a realm. Meanwhile, on top side, Xin Zhao is going to look to punish The Mbessa's over aggression. A public execution is going to be for her own, as that is a nice shutdown, not going to the rel for the side of Dr. Patient's home.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Every time they've been trying to make a bot play, I feel really bad for. So Pacu's gonna go for a shuffle
gonna
here.
Flash in for Quasti. The Encore hits only one. Do they have the damage to not let the Seraphine escape? They will. A final stab from Pacu does burn the flash to get it, but they are getting some gold now onto their carries.
Yep, and I do like that they're being proactive at the very least, trying to look for these plays and not kind of just sitting there and taking a Zero Domain.
Zero Domain has the stolen chain. Soy Blake with no chance against the Silas. Choi is going to think better of tangoing when his Azir is not quite strong. And a nice pick for the Silas.
I mean, I feel like the least we can do is just talk about what they can do on this fight, or on this on the side of the map right now. Tomboy going into the bot side. I feel like knowing that Zero Domain. Oh,
yeah, his top laner's dead again though. Nightstone. I mean, it's fine. Like we can move on.
It is good that they're playing good. They're gonna play this bot side, right? Because Tomboy is going bot side. So maybe a look onto Zero Domain is you know, something they can consider. But Choi is resetting right now. I assume no. Oh, he stopped his reset. Okay, so they really need to play this bot side. I think they really need to look for something on the bot side. Try to kill Zero Domain. Pacu does have that Nashus too, so he's not weak. But they have no chance of reclaiming this top side at all. Even if they reset right now.
Yeah, Nightstone very likely going to be able to pick up his second item here on the Mbessa. And unlike the Talon, he's not at the garage sale picking up these cheap lethality items. 2 legit items for this Mbessa. And she is walking her way down for this dragon fight phase. Gonna do his due diligence on the banana brush. They have Herald as well. Gonna be a difficult contest if Dr. Patient's home even bothers.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like they're just, you know, they were just waiting for that bot play. They have control of the river now. No way that they're fighting this dragon. I think they're just gonna try to farm it out and hope for the best.
Yeah, Nightstone does make himself known. Choi just going to crash out there on the Rel. Shinzao, yeah, let's just go pick up our top camps. They cannot really enter and face check this Nautilus and deal with all these fed topside members. So Dr. Patient has some alone time. He's going to push a wave in, but Nightstone is going to be able to move on up. Not enough pressure, not enough need for the Mbessa to stay down there, so no tower damage for the Mundo, as ultis are traded, and a nice abduct there to find himself through all the soldiers. Zero Domain not going to be one-upped by his top laner in the solo kill department.
Oof. I mean, what can you even do, right? You knocked him away. He still got you with the chains. That was a little bit of the interaction that you saw. He can buffer the ulti to still kind of land the chains and make sure he sticks on you, but at this stage, Silas being this strong, it just almost impossible.
He's going to try to drive this Herald to safety. Does not want to deal with 3 members.
Trying to go mid lane.
He's actually going to be able to steer towards mid. And yeah, they get it. So excellent driving from Zero Domain. You know, good Silas play, good chain usage.
The tower did crash, or the tower did die.
No, it's fine. So we didn't see it. Therefore, it must have hit the tower. It must have. It must have.
Yeah. We'll go with that. We'll go with that.
I mean, how many drivers are even getting it around the corner to the mid tower to begin
Not as hard as it looks. It really isn't. I don't know what is wrong with these players. They're just crashing into like God knows where. It really isn't that hard. If you played Sion like a couple times, you'll know how to drive it.
All right, well, FaZe has found his angle onto Soy Blake. Immediate encore, immediate Mbessa ult. Yeah, all eyes on Varus. He's gone. Teleports into the mid lane now from Pacu and Dr. Patient, but without their Varus, this is going to be a disaster of a fight. The Emperor's Divide may have bought some space, but it's still a double kill for the Seraphine. Now Bumbo's going to show up to the party Dr. Patient's going to try to get whatever healing he can, but I mean, there's no team for him to fight for. An easy fight win for the Aura Farmers, now up 7k gold.
Yep, indeed. They're just gonna go for the Baron. I mean, they're to their credit, obviously. We're kind of talking in terms of what Soy Blake, and Choi and the whole red side team is going through right now, what they can do to kind of get themselves out of their hole. But they're playing it very well. I mean, all cylinders are firing for the side of Bumbo's Aura Farmers. Sorry. They're playing it really well. They're progressing the map really well. They got a 20-minute Baron. So it seems like they're just, using their lead very smartly. And they haven't really made many mistakes. So very huge props to them.
And now they're going to have that Baron buff. So if this Mbessa and Silas were dominating the side lanes before, it's about to get much worse. And the angles of plays are getting less and less, fewer and fewer, rather, I believe is the proper grammar, for the side of the Dr. Patient's home. They are definitely being challenged here in game number 1. It has been a pretty clean game from minute 1 with Zerdaman getting the early solo kill. Night's Dawn doing the same up top. And now with this Baron, should be able to put some finishing touches down, get more gold. Choi is going to position forward. There's no Zerdaman teleport, so they can maybe try to look for a play if they can get numbers in their favor.
Yeah, they just really need some kind of pick, some kind of mistake for them to actually get, a foothold on this game. I feel like this 3-2 is even possible because they're just so strong. Their members are so strong that it doesn't even matter if they're at a numbers disadvantage. But I feel like they should look right now. They have 4v3. They have the opportunity. They could have looked for something like a flash engage, but they're just so slowly bleeding. Dr. Patient not having that TP is also, not
Choi's
helping.
going to take his opportunity to flash in right on top of Night's Dawn.
Huge.
A nice shuffle to make sure that the flash did not get the Warlord to safety. But meanwhile, Zerdaman actually tanking up a bit of damage from the Shinzao. But Dragon in 40, they'll have Night's Dawn back on the Rift, so probably just a time to...
It is rather interesting, though, that Night's Dawn didn't have a shutdown. They made that huge play, but Night's Dawn didn't have a shutdown. So Blake obviously going to get that gold to, spend, but it's not going to be that much. It's going to be the kill or the normal kill gold, pretty much. So rather unfortunate for them.
That did cost them the Rel Flash. They get the Mbessa Flash for it, but in a situation like this where you're having to face check in, you're probably going to be to the objective second. They definitely like to have the keys to the Rel engage at full power. Dr. Patient has worked his way down here to try to assist the team. Mid lane is going to get pushed out. Zerdaman is going to find him! Oh, dear! Soy Blake flashes into the chains, and the encore means that the show is over for Dr. Patient's home. He's the only one to look after his home now. The full HP Mundo will do little to nothing against the rest of the blue side. They dive on through. It's a 5-0 ace. And a dominant Game 1 win for the Bumbo Aura Farmers.
And that's a wrap. That's a wrap. I mean, this Zero Domain guy is absolutely insane. He's literally just 1v9ing these fights. He's just looking at every fight in a way that he can play aggressive. And his team plays really well around him. I mean, Night's Dawn, very fed in his solo lane. Quasti and FaZe, they know when to engage. They know what they're looking for. They trust Zero Domain a lot, and they're able to look for those engages and follow up really cleanly. So just a really strong team. Obviously, like Zero Domain is this powerhouse, but all 4 team members surrounding him are, they're playing their role very, very well, and they're just making sure that all these skirmishes and team fights they play are just super, super well played. So 1-0 to Bumbo's Aura Farmers.
Yeah, I feel like nothing to really call out. Every member, while you had the pop-off moments from guys like Zero, like Knight's Dawn. You had just kind of good old reliable play from FaZe, Quasti, and Bumbo throughout the game, knowing that, hey, we've got all these leads everywhere else. We don't need to do anything too risky. Let's be there to support. Let's hit the hooks when we need them. Let's hit the encores when we need them. And just take it easy. Get in the backpack a bit there. Just make sure the game is stable. Meanwhile, on the side of Dr. Patient's home, definitely a bit rough around the edges, especially for those solo lanes. We'll see if there's maybe different approach to that draft as they try to look for answers to a not great showing in game number 1.
Yep, not much to say, but we'll see you soon for the next draft.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 2 between the Bumbo Ore Farmers and Dr. Patience Home for the Mentally Challenger. My name is Shiv, joined by Hoptech, and it was not a contest in game
Mm-mm.
number
No, no,
1.
no. It was not.
And we'll see if Dr. Patience Home can rebound here in game number 2. But so far, draft looking exactly the same with our first 6 bands.
Yeah, I find it rather interesting that there's just a triple mid ban on both teams. I'm not sure if that was the case last team or last draft as well. I thought that was pretty funny, but I found it very interesting that they didn't actually, ban away Zero Domain's one of his most prime picks, which is Yone. They're leaving that open, so I assume they have something to pick into it. But regardless, I think what we can take away from last game is we need to maybe pick something more aggressive bot lane. If you guys are, the powerhouses on the team, I feel like you really need to play something like maybe like a Caitlyn, like a Draven, a Callista, something that really gets priority, something that can really punish, these safe lanes, even if they're trying to play safe and neutralize lane. You really need to go up CS and take plates early. Have your jungle hover, maybe even look for dives. So I do like this Jarvan pick to kind of set that all up, but this ADC pick is really going to matter to see if they can actually play aggressive in the bot lane.
Yeah, there are definitely
But despite that,
options like the Lucian. Misfortune, maybe not quite that. Does combo up well with the Jarvan, but not quite the lame dominant pick we were maybe hoping for. And I mean, on the side of Bumble War Farmers, FaZe is more than comfortable to go back to classic Senna TK, where you just post up with this bot lane that, yeah, it's going to get behind, but it's not going to get behind enough to not have very good contributions to the rest of the team.
yeah, and it seems like they really want to default to comfort. I feel like these are just champs that they're very comfortable on, picking the Misfortune and Jarvan. On the other side, we see that Syndra Wukong bot lane just slammed there. So yeah, not gonna see the Yone this time around. Maybe Bumbo doesn't play many AP champions, so they just want to slam something that's a good strong mid jungle duo, AP mid jungle bruiser. So I do like that pick. We want to see what uh, they have to answer for this. I would like to see a mid laner picked here so that we can leave support for later. And there's the Ari.
Yeah, Ari for Pacquiao, a pick that he's been fine on before, but is fine into the Syndra. You have that good bit of mobility, maybe like pick off the Senna, pick off the Syndra in these later fights. But now for the second phase of bans, we will shift a bit towards the bot lane with the Braum ban from Dr. Patience. And I mean, if you want to get technical, that Wukong could be going to phase in the bot lane, could be going to Bumbo. Likely a jungle, but we can keep our options open.
Yeah, and I think they really need to think hard about what they want support here because this support should be picked on 5. They want that support counter pick. I don't know what it's going to be, but Troy really needs to dig deep and try to find some sort of pocket pick that can actually take over the game. Even from the support role, I feel like Troy can get it done. Something like a Bard, something like a Pike, can really just try to run the map and help other lanes out when they're losing. And I think this mid lane matchup, obviously it is a bit of a skill matchup. I think could maybe even be slightly Syndra favored considering just her range on Ari, but it is really on PACU to kind of dodge out on the QEs, the Ws, everything that Syndra kind of throws out, and use her mobility to kind of get the better of this lane. But if he's comfortable on this champion, I just want to see him, try to be stable. Hopefully, not, not get the lane too volatile in a state where it was last game to the point where you need so much help that it's detrimental to your other lanes. Troy had to drop vision on timers that were really bad for their lane, and they didn't have vision for multiple ganks that they were vulnerable to. So I think just something that really needs to be stable in lane, and just have their bot lane, kind of take over.
Yeah, and I mean the Braum and TK bans, I definitely feel like we're gonna get an aggressive pick. That's maybe not quite what I was expecting. I didn't think you would care too much about Braum, but it is a playmaking support for Choi with this Bard.
Yep, and I would have liked to see this on 5, but maybe Choi feels comfortable enough to take it into anything. Probably not too scared of whatever FaZe has to offer here, but Maybe could see some good answer to the Bard here. I'm not quite sure what phase has to play here. So we're gonna see a Camille hover. I'm not sure where this is going. Probably top lane. I was thinking maybe it could go support, which would be very interesting, but I'm not sure if FaZe wants the Camille in the bot lane.
I'm not
Uh,
sure how much he's put in on that, so I
yeah,
think it's fair to say it's going to Night's Dawn
gonna
and
see a
a
Poppy. Okay.
Poppy. So yeah, I would expect this to actually be a Wukong for the
Yeah, Wukong for
support.
Bumbo. Yeah, this no Wukong for
We're
Bumbo.
playing
Poppy is
Poppy bot.
support. Yeah, Poppy support.
All right.
Um, and obviously the Camille going top lane. I believe are the picks. I could be completely wrong. Could be like Syndra support, Senna mid. I don't know. Who cares? Regardless, Dr. Patient gonna end up with that R5. Gonna see what he wants into the Malphite, or he's gonna pick the Malphite into the Camille rather. Um, Interesting. I think Malphite does win out on this lane. They have a lot of AD picks, and Syndra is also very immobile. I don't hate the pick at all. I think if they're lacking a little bit of engage off the Bard ultis, maybe the Malphite can be very good. It also sets up the Wombo really well with the Jarvan MF. So yeah, not a bad pick at all. We're just gonna have to see if he can play the lane all right and kind of neutralize it, and Malphite will be good to go outside of that. But yeah, I really do like Dr. Patient's comp. I think they're very well equipped to kind of deal with Bumbo, and if they can execute their game plan, I think this game will be going very well for them.
Yeah, I mean the Poppy can stop the J40Q, can stop Tamari dashes, cannot stop the Rock. So definitely can see the vision here with the Malphite pick. I guess the one concern I maybe have for the Dr. Patient side is if your Wombo doesn't quite hit the way you need it to, where Poppy's able to disrupt a part of it with either the W or the R. Senna healing makes so you don't quite burst people down, because then in those extended fights when your damage dealers are an Ari or a Misfortune, feels like you may not be able to get the job done if that initial hit doesn't go just right.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, well, I mean, I think the name of the game for them, considering what we saw last game, is just try to get out of lane even. I think as long as you can do that, I feel like their team fight is significantly better as long as they can execute it. There are, quite some ways to get onto the backline with the Camille Wukong, but not a lot of follow up. I feel like Senna really wants to play that range. Syndra also really wants to play that range. So it's going to be up to like Wukong, Camille, Poppy to kind of just dive onto the backline. Or maybe they'll play more of a front to back kind of style. Camille will just eat whoever's closest to the Senna or the Syndra and just play off zero domains cooldowns. I would like to see that as well. But I think the name of the game, baby steps, is just get out of lane. Hopefully bot lane can get a lead for Soy Blake. For Soy Blake and Choi. Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 5-on-5 not quite materialize for Dr. Patient's team last time. We'll see if they can do it here in game number 2 with a comp very much designed to have everyone hit their R buttons. We'll see if they can even us up and send us to a game number 3 as we take a short break. All right, everyone. Game number 2 is underway. The Bumbo Aura Farmers looking to continue an undefeated streak here at DMV while Dr. Patient's home. Looking to have like you said, baby steps. Looking to get out of lane here in game number 2.
Yeah, looking to get out of lane. I mean a little bit more than that, obviously. Just try to not to make the lane volatile to the point where it's detrimental to other lanes. I feel like Choi really needs to play aggressive in this lane to get a lead in bot lane, so he can actually affect other lanes comfortably and not on timers that are, bad for him and Soy Blake. So I do like this Bard pick. I think Choi is very comfortable on this pick as well. Um, and they picked the Poppy into it, so not a great lane for them as they're going to get
Yeah,
aggressive here as
Cosmic
well.
Binding is there, but not going to have too much damage there. Choi even taking the Ignite over the heal, so they are definitely looking to open up this bot lane, stay aggressive, and try to get going in a way that they weren't quite able to last game. Senna, of course, still going to scale well, even if she is put behind, but can definitely unlock Choi to make plays in other lanes across the map. We will see both junglers this time pathing in the same direction, starting top and going to this bot side. That's going to be the focus.
And Becky also has taken quite a bit of damage, is also out of pots, as you can see in the HP bar and the HUD. But yeah, like I said, just make sure you're playing stable. I think as long as, you can just farm the waves as Ari, which is, considerably easy once you get like boots and maybe a dark seal, you can just double Q the wave. Should be fine. I think that would be really good for them. But yeah, like I said, not a great lane for the Poppy Senna. It's they do suffer from the range. Obviously, Senna has a little bit of range, but this early in the game, Senna is quite weak. So, would like to see Soy Blake and Choi, play like to see them play a little bit more aggressive, and try to get some good trades off.
They are going to get that bot lane push to try to make sure that this bot crab goes to their side here with the Jarvan wrapping up the last of his buffs with the Wukong. We'll see if Bumbo, he's just going to say, definitely do not really want to tango with the Jarvan when the Bard, when the MF are likely to move. I'll head up for that top crab as Nightstone Wave is pushing a little bit out from him.
Yep, and they're going to have that luxury, obviously. Zero Domain going to have that mid prio. So no double crab for both junglers here. But yeah, Soy Blake, pretty much full HP, full conditions. Looks like they're not using much mana or like fishing for any Qs on the wave, considering how much mana he has. But I'd like to try to see them, take a little bit more trades, or maybe Classy is just conceding. But considering they are even CS at this stage, I feel like they're doing quite a good job of just maintaining and neutralizing Soy Blake and Choi.
Yeah, we will see Soy Blake and Choi get that first recall off, see what they can find in that first back. Meanwhile, across the soul lanes, it is a slight lead for 0, slight lead for Nightstone thus far in their respective lanes. We like the Malphite into the Camille, but it's not going to have kind of too much to say, just kind of similar to the Sen on the other side of the map. Let's just farm up. Let's make sure that we can stay relevant throughout this early game. Jarvan is maybe paying a visit mid, but he is on Vision.
Yep, I think they set up Vision really well for Zero Domain. They want their main guy to be safe on this immobile mage that he picked. Just make sure that he can farm safely. They both saw Homeboy and Choi on both sides of the map, which was very nice for him. But yep, I think obviously this lead is gonna kind of get bigger as this lane goes on. Nightstone gonna be doing true damage in large amounts pretty soon to Dr. Patient. But once Dr. Patient gets a couple items, he should be okay to kind of just neutralize lane from there. And yeah, pretty standard early game. Not quite like the crazy early game that we saw from last game.
Yeah, definitely going to be a bit low tempo as FaZe will be able to just walk his way out of that one. Nightstone did expend the TP up top side. Dr. Payton still has his, so he will not be hurting too much as he refreshes his health and mana. Meanwhile, the bot pressure of this MF Bard, even if it's not resulting in a CS lead, will result in a early dragon to the side of Dr. Patient's home.
Yep, and I love that for them. They're utilizing that bot prio to take objectives. Bumble obviously on the top side of the map, not really getting too active I would like to see maybe a gank top burn the ulti onto Dr. Patient. But he's just taking that crab now. It looks like he might be looking for a topside invade. So Tomboy, a little bit of an oversight here to not go back into his topside after the dragon is Bumbo's going to be able to take his red.
Yeah, good exploit there with that early objective take, making sure that there is something going the way of Bumbo's Wukong in recompense for that dragon take. Meanwhile, topside, you can see Dr. Patient trying to slam down Night's Dawn, make sure that
And
he's not overextended. But
Tomboy had
Wukong,
no idea that took red. Yeah, they're going to be here.
Wukong has looped in around, going to, like you say, force that unstoppable force out from the Malphite.
Yep. So, I mean, pretty rough jungle tracking there from everyone. Not quite sure where the Wukong was.
But now, meanwhile, FaZe is just 1v1ing the Bard. They exchange ignites. The last embrace hits, but FaZe can charge over and taxi a minion to stay safe.
I really love that from FaZe, trying to play aggressive and, just taking sums there. Got an ulti as well for just his ignite. He's going to be able to reset pretty safely. Quasti is kind of just free scaling in this lane. He's up CS, considering that Soyblade and Choi are supposed to get the upper hand in this matchup. I think they're just playing it extremely well.
Yeah, the Poppy now might be overstepping a bit, but as the Senna heals, know that there isn't too much threat from the MF Bard right now. Yeah, even though it is a much tamer early game than game number one, we still have about 800, almost 1k gold lead for the side of the Aura farmers. And a lot of that is still in a bit of a mid lane advantage, but definitely a more palpable or palatable mid lane advantage if you're on the side of Pac.
Like I said, if you can get out of lane without too much volatility, I think that's a win in your books, considering, he had to burn that ulti, so Zero Domain just playing the patient game and just holding that W for as long as possible. Pacu cracked under the pressure, had to burn that ulti. Didn't want to get all in there. Was probably, definitely in range to die there if he got hit by the W slow. This is the kind of stage where Zero Domain gets a little scary, or the Syndra gets a little scary because of that double Q. 40 stacks now probably on that passive. Yeah, his choice here to try to look for something.
Yeah, but FaZe is lurking around as well. So like you said, they're keeping this vision up around mid lane, making sure that the Syndra's never caught off guard while playing aggressive and forcing things like the Spirit Rush out of the Ahri.
Yep.
That charm goes wide, and now Zero Domain going to use the ultimate, gets the flash. Pacu paying a lot of respects in the mid lane. Meanwhile, bot side, it's a play in with the Jarvan. The interrupt, though, from the Poppy W means Bumbo now has time to swoop on in. The bullet time doesn't quite kill off Quasti, and now the Jarvan drops for first blood. Keeper's verdict knocks Soyblade up into the air. We're burning barrier, even though there is no chance of escape. That's a nice little counter from Bumbo to now get the team rolling.
Extremely well played by Bumbo. Able to identify that Quasti was in trouble and got the knock-up to interrupt that MF ultimate. I think that was really heads-up play by him because he was trapped. Didn't have that W. He was trapped in that Jarvan ulti. So really well played by him. And like I said, Choi and Soyblade not able to get it done here in the bot lane, even with the help of their Jarvan. That's going to really sting, considering Senna is, again, just free scaling.
Yeah, they do get at least some summoners out of the bot lane. No flash on Senna, no flash on Poppy, but you can see the power of the Poppy pick there to just kind of disrupt the Jarvan, make it so that he doesn't get a clean take onto the Senna. And then even though the Bard hits a Tempered Fate, it's your backline that's under threat. They're not able to pin down Quasti for that kill. Patient is continuing to play decently well here in the top lane. Even farm across the board as he pushes in that wave. He would take good chunks out of the Camille's health. And actually just going to ult for it. Looks for the all-in. And the last auto is enough. He should be able to get out of tower range. A solo kill for Dr. Patient.
Well played by Dr. Patient. That is kind of crazy. But I mean, I think this is the stage where like Dr. Patient is
Oh
a little
dear,
bit
it's a
stronger than
flash
Mouth.
unleash power
Oh,
pack. You tried to respond with an aggressive charm,
oh
but it
man.
wasn't meant to be. Dr. Patient may have flipped the script in the other solo lane, but everything's going according to Zero Domain in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, 20, what is that? 23 CS, a kill. These things are kind of getting out of control. I feel like, yeah, Dr. Patient salvaged them a little bit with that solo kill. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is Malphite getting a kill and not one of the carries. Whereas on the other side,
Oh, a
pretty
nice
much
job
everyone
by
you want kills
Bumbo
them.
to get away from the Tempered Fate. Soyblick's gonna flash, but the last hit of the staff is more than enough. Now the Wukong with that Triforce off to the races, and a dragon shall be the likely reward for the side of BAF.
Hmm. A lot of things going wrong very quickly for Dr. Patient's home.
Hey, but look at that. That's a 2-level lead for the namesake of the team here on the Malphite. Enemy team's taking Dragon. He can continue to play up. But yeah, we're seeing good stuff from the Aura Farmers. Bumbo, I think it was kind of right to say, like, hey, I don't need to be super active on the map early on. Let me farm up. Let me get to this item spike. And now that we are missing sums in some of these lanes, I can go make plays that have a good chance of working out. And now, a little less than a 3K gold lead for the side of Bumbo Aura Farmers.
Indeed, indeed. 3K gold at 12 minutes is better than 3K at 10 minutes, I guess. As we're going to see a little bit of a skirmish here on top, or not skirmish, but trade. But I think Dr. Patient at this point, pretty comfortable with where he's at. But Nightstone's going to start to do some true damage now, so probably pretty quickly going to start to get the better of these trades.
Yeah, Nightstone with that Triforce definitely feels fine in his own right. FaZe playing up here, showing Soyblick, paying respects that they don't really know where this Wukong is, so they kind of can't do much about the Poppy messing with him. They do try to sneak this Jarvan in. I can't really go through the lane. He is going to get spotted. Going to go for the Cataclysm immediately onto the Poppy. Sets up for the Cosmic Binding. And that's the play we want to see in the bot lane. Meanwhile, topside, Dr. Patient is just chunking out Nightstone with these W autos. Another proc going to hit. Has the ulti. Is going to go for it. Don't think he's going to quite have the damage. Can't quite get another W through there. But meanwhile, in mid lane, Pacquiao is just going to get solo killed by the unleashed power of Zero Domain. And even when we see some good stuff happening for the side of DPH, it is always accompanied with Zero Domain building his lead.
Yeah, and that's got to stink. Both games have got to feel pretty bad for Pacquiao. I mean, probably feels pretty helpless in terms of what he can do. He has counterpick. He has, the vision around him.
Oh, but now we've got a Hextech ultimatum, and even the lane that was going well is going to be sliced up by the scissors on Nightstone's legs. So Senna ult wasn't even really needed. Doesn't, unfortunately, get an assist for Quasti, but they'll be fine. Still, now things, even though that tower went down, it's like, okay, it's only a 2K gold lead for the side of Bumbo Aura Farmers. But a lot of the money is on the Malphite for the side of DPH. So, gold's not quite where they want it to be, even if, you're happy to have a lane going well.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that play bot lane when Tomboy was there to cover was kind of weird. Pacquiao also, oh my goodness.
Oh no, is it going to happen again? It's going to happen again. Another combo, another 5 orbs to the face. And Zero Domain with a 3-0 scoreline. We're going to have a Cosmic Binding into the bullet time. Get some good work done, but not enough to kill off the Senna. Jarvan was around, but decides better against forcing something there.
Yeah, this Pacquiao has just come to lead and died, I think, in the last 3 minutes twice. I think Syndra is just so strong at this point that like you can't afford not to. I feel like a lot of pros do this as well inside of lanes that are very burst heavy. That they opt for that Merc treads very early in the lane, and I think that's something Pacquiao should have done maybe when he died the first time. But obviously, probably felt like pretty confident that he could just play with his ulti. Had the Malignance ready to go. Probably going to get his ulti before Syndra does in each engage or skirmish, but 3 times now, Zero Domain has solo killed Pacquiao. It's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, and it's 2 items now for Zero Domain first to reach that mark in this game. He's got the Blackfire, he's got the Chovy belt, and those Spellslinger shoes for a nice mid-game spike as well. As Dr. Patient, he is slowly realizing that this Camille is now no longer one to be trifled with. He's locked in the Hexagon again. The burst damage of the R will not help him. It's now FaZe. Not going to be too deterred by the Ahri. Meanwhile, the Jarvan has to get away from the Wukong Senna combo. FaZe, again, just continuing to be annoying on this Poppy. Does get hit by a charm. It's going to take a good bit of damage, but no one there really to follow up. No real engage from the Jarvan. 7 seconds till this dragon spawns.
Here comes Syndra. Here comes Syndra. I mean, there's no way that they can walk up to this dragon, given how strong Syndra is. Dr. Patient does have that TP when he spawns, but he might have to TP top lane. I mean, Nightstone is going to get this full tower, I believe, before he spawns either way, and he doesn't have that unstoppable force.
Yeah, they're still going to TP him in anyway. There's the engage from the Jarvan. The bullet time, though, gets canceled, and now Soyblick's fighting for his life against the Wukong. Zero Domain's on a rampage, and Soyblick needs to stay alive on the other side, but he is surrounded. Nightstone makes his entrance, and that means a double scatter from Zero to follow. Pacquiao is not going to be able to escape from Night's Dawn, as now the Bard's caught out as well. It is now quickly becoming another disaster. Bumbo Aura farmers secure the dragon, secure the fight, and are now 7k gold ahead.
Yeah, the name of the game was to get out of lane, which they did. Like I said, baby steps, but now the name of the game is try to execute your team fight. And since Zero Domain, Nightstone, Bumbo even are just so strong, and Soyblake, I feel like Soyblake and Choi weren't able to get enough of a lead for it to actually matter in their team fight. They just got engaged on. They don't have enough counter engage to deal with the Wukong either. And it's just pretty rough for them to just fight. I mean, Soyblake flashed to the arms of Zero Domain, I believe, in that last fight. Had nowhere to go. Dr. Patient got ulted out, but it wouldn't even have mattered because he didn't have that ulti anyway. And it just seems like if they really want this team fight to work, they just need everyone to be on the same page with ulti. And Nightstone is here to skirmish.
Yeah, he doesn't find the hook shot, but finds so much damage just with the precision protocol. He may have started the game a bit on the rough side, but it is smooth sailing for Nightstone's Camille since.
Yeah, and 3 levels now on Zero Domain. Pacquiao just has to burn that ulti to try and get away from the W, but...
And Poppy's looped in behind. A nice angle on the heroic charge. It is domination once again from the usual suspects. Choi has to burn the Tempered Faith to try to set up a play. Nightstone does not have the ulti or the flash. But now he's going to get some help from Bumbo. Dr. Patient, again, secures a tower for himself. But the Rock's not going to be the one you want to have that money.
I don't know if you saw that interaction, but Tomboy tried to get the Cataclysm onto Nightstone, but Nightstone was able to buffer it away with his E. So, I mean, even though they're trying to look for these engages, none of them are working out.
Yeah, and a lot of big tools expended there. The Ahri ult, the Bard ult, the Jarvan ult. A lot of playmaking now gone. Their ability try to find some picks. Not going to be all too good. And, I mean, one element of it we haven't even talked about is that even if you find someone, there could be a Senna ult coming in over the top to give them some reinforcement. And, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be a 20.5-minute Baron like game number 1, but still very much in favor of the Aura farmers. As they're going to get the charge back onto the Jarvan. Nice cancel with the Steadfast Presence. The Jarvan is going to try to flash himself out of this one, but the railgun shot from Quasti seals the deal. And we may be looking at a, unfortunately, quick 2-0.
Yeah, and can we talk a little bit about FaZe this game? I mean, even game one, I feel like has just been playing so well. Last pick in the tournament, I believe, was the second to last pick overall, and has just been an absolute star, playing very confidently on champs like Poppy, um, into people who are like double, triple, quadruple times his rank. So I mean, just stellar performances from this guy, a really big underdog in this tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things I've definitely appreciated about FaZe thus far is I don't believe he's played the same champion twice yet. He's been very flexible with just playing picks that will fit in the comp, whether it's Nautilus, Tom Kench, Sona, the Poppy this game feeling like it's very good against the enemy. So I definitely like the flexibility he's bringing in. Doesn't have the ego of just, pick me, engage. I'm going to try to win the game. We're going to play backline. We play backline. If we play engage. We play engage. And he's definitely making it work here on the Poppy. Baron now in tow for the side of the Aura Farmers. And Camille isn't even going to be the one stepping up in a side lane. They're going to split it 2-3 for now. Vacu finds the charm onto Bumbo. Not going to be too much doing with the clone, able to provide enough cover. And now it is. That's going to be a charge into the wall. The scatter doesn't quite connect, and neither does the Keeper's Verdict. But still, a big ult forced out from the Ahri.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, they played the mid game extremely well. I feel like obviously they play lane really well, but Tomboy Toucher.
Oh no, goodness. He's just gonna get one shot by the Syndra. Zero Domain doesn't even have anything to fear as he gets ulted up by the Malphite. He'll just get his team in position to fire back. Another scatter stun, another victim on the floor. A 8-0 scoreline now for the king of the mid lane. Not much left to do but put the icing on the cake as Pacu doesn't find that charm, and they are running out of ways to strike back on the side of Dr. Patient's home. One inhibitor tower down in mid, second to fall in bot.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, like I said, they're playing this mid game very well. I think they're they set up after Baron very, very well. Obviously, it looks easy when you're this far ahead, but I've seen teams who get a lead very early in the game, but they're not able to, convert into this kind of map picture where they're just kind of playing the map perfectly at this point. They have 2 inhibs at 23 minutes. They got the Baron, they got the soul point, and they should all be running top now to get the next dragon, or to get the next tower rather, not the next dragon. But yeah, they're just playing the macro game very, very well. So props to them for sure.
Absolutely. They get the 2 inhibitors off the Baron, and now they know top lane is the place to be. They'll post up Nightstone on his own in the mid. He does have TP if anything suspicious erupts, as Choi was looking around for some kind of angles, but he no longer has a magical journey. He will head back to the fountain, and Bumbo's on a killing spree.
Yeah, he was trying to cheat a little bit of vision there, but even at that, I feel like at this stage, you need to get a little bit shallower vision, considering they will live in the top side of the jungle at this side of at this stage in the game.
Meanwhile, the Malphite now might be cornered. Pacu trying to get in there, finds a charm only onto the Poppy. Bullet time over the top, but I mean, we're not really getting the combos we need. We're going to try to peel for the Misfortune. Cataclysm, though, traps her in, and Bumbo's now spinning, and they're ready to just take the game here. The Wukong finds a 3-man Cyclone, but he doesn't have much backup. Maybe a bit of overextension, but now here comes the Syndra on cleanup duty. They don't quite kill off Tomboy until the Ignite comes through. Double digits in the kill column for Zero Domain, and now only 2 champions in the way of a clean 2-0 sweep. Quasti now going to join up.
Yeah.
They're going to look to just go for these towers. The Senna going to be more than enough.
It's a victory lap at this point. They're just kind of farming them. They might even try to kill Soy Blake one more time.
And Keeper's Vertigo's wide pack. You're going to try to get in there. But there's no hope when you take that kind of journey. Soy Blake is going to look for something. Has to flash away from the sphere. Quasti, though, still has the barrier. Nothing for Choi to do but fall alongside his comrades. A triple kill for Zero Domain. The Jarvan's trying to get in there, does find a shutdown. FaZe is able to find the kill there, so it's not going to be a penta opportunity at the very least for the Syndra. But 25 kills in 26 minutes, that'll absolutely do it. 2-0 win for Bumbo Aura Farmers.
Bumbo Oro Farmers, I mean, they are firmly cementing themselves as the number one team in the tournament. I mean, they look outstanding against another 2-0 team. I mean, it's not like this team was a team that was 1-1 or 0-2. This was another juggernaut. This is another favorite for the tournament. And they just beat them very handily. So I mean, the sky's the limit for them. They look amazing. Not much really to say. That was a very clean 2-0. Very convincing.
Yeah, and the big thing for them is that their stars absolutely showed up in the solo lanes, coming through with Nightstone and Zero Domain having fantastic performances. Not much to
Can
do
we
as the stars on the other side. You know, we talk about Soy Blake, we talk about Choi. Can't really get off the ground.
indeed couldn't get off the ground at all. I felt like they could have, maybe tried to capitalize on the picks they had. But yeah, they weren't able to convert into that. As we're gonna get into an interview with Nightston, the top laner and captain of Bumbo Oro Farmers. Let's drag him in. Hello, hello.
Yo,
Good
hello.
evening. Um, yeah, welcome. Um, that was a series that we watched with our eyes. How did you feel about it?
Felt nice.
It felt
Pretty good
nice. Okay.
games. Pretty clean. Didn't ever feel like or stressed that we were gonna lose. So
I see. So
nice
going
to have
into that
nice to
game,
have a
you
chill
were you
series.
were going into that game, you were already pretty confident that you
Well, not necessarily going into it, but like just the vibes from like after like the first couple of minutes of the game, it felt like we were always in a
control.
smooth sailing position. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of won on all cylinders. Even like, their double GM bot lane, or I guess Soy Blake is GM and I'm Troy has hit challenger. They weren't able to convert pretty much anything
Yeah.
onto
We
your
did
bot lane.
we
So,
did kind of draft the
well, yeah,
most
I mean, that's
most
true, but
what's
even
it called?
then,
The most cringe safe bot laners. So
that's true, but even then, I feel
yeah.
like, at a gap, you can still find, players will be able to, capitalize
Yeah, that's fair.
even people playing safe. So I felt like your bot lane just did a really good job of even getting. I think game 2 they were up CS at
No, I
like
mean I agree.
5 minutes, which was insane.
My bot lane's awesome. They're really good.
Shiv, you have any questions?
I guess if you had to put a number on now, how far is this train going to go? You guys haven't dropped a match. You guys haven't dropped a game yet. Uh, when should I be putting the bet down for your first loss?
Depends. There's a couple teams I'm still scared of. Notably, if you want me to name drop, there's
Go
Jason's
ahead.
team and
Mhm.
I Can't Win's team. Those teams are
Mhm.
also both 3-0, right?
2-0, 2-0.
And
That's or 3-0. Yeah,
Fortnite
you're
is
right.
I think
You're
yeah,
right.
they're both 3-0, so
Yeah.
they're looking really scary. I don't think actually maybe I Can't Win's team dropped a game. I don't remember, but
They did drop a game,
I
they
but
still
they
look
are
really
still
clean in their
3-0.
wins. So
Yeah. So I assume every series you've just 2-0'd every game.
no, man. If we play one of those teams next week, it's
No. I
we
meant like
probably
up
will.
till now. You guys have 2-0'd every game
Oh yeah,
or every
we have,
series.
yeah.
Okay. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I mean, obviously, there's not really much to say about the the void that is mid lane. That was just an absolute
Yeah.
performance. I mean,
Sorry, I
it was
couldn't get
very
to
obvious.
Henry on the mic.
Yeah,
He
it was very obvious. But I don't
instantly
want to
dipped
glaze
after
that
the
guy
game.
more than he already glazes himself. So we'll just keep him out of this one. But congratulations, very convincing.
Thank you.
And look forward to your success in the future. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for casting.
All right,
All
that'll
right.
do it for us today. Week 3 will conclude tomorrow with NET versus 5 with potential as those teams look to get the better of the 1-1 bracket. Yeah, I think that'll
Two, two,
about.
2-1.
Oh, they're 2.
1, 2-1
It's
bracket.
week 3.
But it'll be week 4 next week.
Looking to see which of them will move up to 2-1. And so that'll be a nice match tomorrow
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. My apologies.
between NET and 5WP. So stay tuned for that one tomorrow. But for now, we will sign off. Wishing you all the best of evenings.
Thank you, everyone. Donate to DMV. Thank you.